on. Nope, my mic was off. It's all kinds of mess. All right, maybe we'll try that one. Good old rocky start. Can y'all at least hear me? Let's wait the time. Yeah, I know I was muted. I did that. So, can you hear me now? Don't want to say it too much. You know, might have some sort of copyright strike or something like that, right? So now I've got two chat windows and all kinds of mess, and I guess that's what happens when I don't stream for a while. So hey Jim, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. So yeah, it's been a little bit, and we were gonna push till tomorrow, but we decided let's go ahead and do it today. And streaming with an ESP8266, yeah. It's called Totally Off Your Game. I thought I had everything situated, and then I click one screen and it was different, and then click something else in OBS, and then that's different. And I said, well, let's just try and go through it, and then it streams somewhere else. It doesn't show live. And I had two different chats going and had some people over here and some people over here. I have no idea where the link is supposed to be or whatever. So I probably posted something wrong in Discord. So I have no idea. But hey, maybe we'll get some people here and we'll rock and roll. And maybe we'll get back on track. And maybe I don't have any beer to drink. So that's maybe a problem. But, what's up, Jim? So, if we can get back on track here. Let's see. It's a wonder it works at all. Still is pretty cool. You can do the different live streaming. So, you never thought you'd be doing all this crazy stuff. So, this is not a commercial for them. I thought it was pretty cool. They sent out some little ornaments from PCB Way. I thought it was kind of cool. They had little coin cells in them, and so it was they're happy soldering, and I guess they were happy soldering. Merry Christmas. I guess I know some people try to play it safe and do the happy holidays. So I guess just as happy soldering. So I guess that was their somewhat playing it safe. But they do a little coin sale. I just got those in earlier. So if I can find my light, I'll actually turn the thing off. Because normally I'm used to hollering at the voice assistant to turn things off. But I don't want to set everybody's stuff off. So yeah, they took little coin sales. And I guess they did some sort of little lights to them. And we'll go ahead and hang those on the tree. It's probably blowing out the thing, so. 2 IPAs. Well, I got some other stuff I can do. Yeah, they do. I'm sure the chat's somewhat behind on me. I haven't messed with the setting on this new stuff, so I'm sure I'm very behind on the chat, unfortunately, today. So, but maybe after this, I'll iron all that out and do a little private stream to myself, and I can play around and get all this fixed up. Because of course the chat window's not even working on the video, but oh well, we'll just roll with it. So, but I thought it was pretty cool. They sent those things, hang them on the tree, and I did. That's gonna drive the video nuts. So, but I thought it was kind of cool. I was curious how they did that because I didn't see any. I guess there must be a chip inside or something. Maybe I'm missing something. I just see a couple of LEDs. Let me turn the light back on. This one. I didn't see any little controller chip or anything, so it must be inside. So that was kind of cool. Something cool to hang on the tree. So some Tasmota not changing to new Wi-Fi after changing settings. What you mean by that, Paul? They're There's usually 2 slots. I guess you're trying to do like bring them over to a different Wi-Fi. Put Tasmota on the ornaments. Yeah, I don't think they would last long on the little coin cell batteries. What that might last all of what, maybe 30 minutes. So, what else we were gonna do? So it's kind of now I'm kind of like all scatterbrained now, but so I did want to I was want to show you. I know in the ones in Discord there was Foghorn has been showing a new. Let's see. Let me flip over here. Foghorn has been doing a new little called Tasmo Backup, which I thought was pretty cool, and it's designed basically. He's running it in a Docker, and it's designed to just go. You put in your IPs of your various Tasmota devices, and yeah, we will get to the circuit setup thing because I was playing with that last night, so I figured it'd still be cool to play with that. Let me move this window out the way. So the Tasmo Backup is pretty cool because it allows you can put in your IP address of all your devices, and you can go through. Let me drag this window up so I can scroll. Here we go. And you can do a backup of all the different devices. Yeah, I probably left some other people on the other thing. I just abandoned the other. Sorry about that, Dave. So basically just goes out and he grabs all yours, which I know is important to some people, well, including myself. They put a lot of rules and everything. And I believe Steve-O had an issue with set option. Quote me. I don't quote me on this. Was it set option 35, I believe? This one and another one energizing. Now, do I really have 2 of them going? I don't know how I can have 2 of them going. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. It's just one. OBS is running one time. I hope everybody's over there not chatting and everything. I'll try and go delete it later, I guess, and see what happens. Maybe we can. I don't know. Yeah, we'll mess with that, Federico, and see. I'll deal with that later. So is that a 1-to-1 firmware backup? Yeah, it does that. I want to say it uses the HTTP interface, and it downloads the backup from the HTTP interface, and that way you can do versioning and everything, and it puts the date and timestamp of all your backups and does it all locally. It does run in a Docker container. The only, I would say, downside to it is, let me see if I can pull up the link here. Let's see. I'm scrolling back through the Discord and find where Foghorn was showing the Docker container. Of course, it's going to be back through all of our various banter. Copy link. Yeah. I don't really know how the other stream is live, to be honest with you. I only have one. Unless OBS like totally abandoned it. There's one live and there's an upcoming. There's a live replay, and that only lasted for so long. Let's go ahead and delete that one just to see. Hopefully this didn't cause a black hole. And I got an upcoming and I got a live now. So, okay. Well. See, is it 35? Well, let's just we'll roll into the next part of yeah. So if you've seen the new wiki, is if you go to the new wiki, which I know we're kind of jumping here. If you go to just tasmoto.com, and it jumps you into the new wiki, and it is I don't have dark reader on this, so it is a dark mode style. And if you go, the documentation is laid out a little bit different. So if we go to commands, go to set options. Yeah, too much stuff to talk about for Federico. I'm not sure if how that other one's still going. Was it 35? Okay, no, it's not 30. It's 36. 36 is the boot. What am I confusing it for? Or is it 65? Yeah, 65. Not 35, 65. So it's 65 where it's designed for the light bulbs where you don't have any way to reset them. And if you toggle them fast enough, which I think someone had a power flickering issue, that it dumped all the firmware on all their devices and reset everything back to just stock Tasmota with no settings at all. So I'm sure that was fun to go put everything back in. So you can go through and do the Taz. I've only added in 3 things here just to mess with it. And it's pretty simple. You just add the IP address and then throw in the password and hit discover, and it pops in there. And then you can pop in and do all of your backups of all your Tasmota devices. So that was pretty cool. And the only thing I use DHCP addresses, so I haven't seen if I had a device off for a long time. I know there's the edit side, and I'm not sure if my password will show, so I'm not going to hit the edit side. But it's really just started, and there's the GitHub link to it. I just posted back, and so it's a pretty cool little thing to back up all your firmware, which will lead us into another controller of, yeah, it's for mimicking the 2-year firmware. Is I don't know if I'm saying his right name, Shantour, the one that did a lot of work on the Tuya MCU side. He has called Taz UI. And I know this was talked about and you can go to it right now. And I know some people, because it's you're like, well, wait a minute, it's in the cloud. Well, what thought we're all going to be about? Well, there is some executables that you can actually run to have things run locally. And I don't know if Frederico might be able to talk about a few things in there about how it run. I haven't looked at all the source code myself. I want to say it's Java applet, and I believe it does run locally, but there actually is a full executable if you're really worried about that, and so putting your passwords or whatnot on there. But it's also going to be allowed to, you can control a lot of your devices. So just to bring up the local one, it looks pretty much the same as the one that's on the web. And you can come in and you put your stuff in here and you say discover devices. I know this is going to look weird because I have the screen really big. And this is going to drive me nuts, the delay. I'm not sure of what settings we have on the live stream stuff. Stream settings. Enable DVR. Oh, that's why it's on normal latency. I need it to be ultra low latency. That's what's driving me nuts. We're going to be behind, so I don't know how far I'm behind on the audio versus the chat, but it's become a mess. And I think if I stop the stream, it's going to kick all of y'all out and me to put the stream latency back down. So I guess that's what I get for not figuring everything would still be the same. So if there's a big delay, I guess blame me. I don't say don't blame me, but blame me. It is my fault, right? So let's see. We will throw in and start discovery. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I'm way ahead, Will. So the Shantor's thing is going to pull in new devices, and it scans. And I played with it a little bit. So like let's see. I want to say I had this one in here already. Yeah. So once you add them in from the discovery, it saves them, and there's a bunch of details on it. Hopefully I don't show anything too crazy. Um, so give me, it's the first time really messing with this, that's what this is all about. Down the local TAS UI. I don't, Frederico, you may be able to answer that one. I know Shantor sent me that applet. So I know he sent that applet as a zip file, and I'm not sure if he's, because of how quick things are changing, if he's sending that out just yet to like the whole public type thing. But I know he does have it on GitHub. And let's see if I'll find the link for you. I just passed it when I was getting copy link. And y'all know this is going to drive me nuts with the latency that long. So, so devices. And one thing I thought was kind of cool was you could come in here and you go to like a console, and it gives you a console where you can start to type, things like, well, I guess it just doesn't have color help. See all commands, type help. Okay, well, there you go. So I would thought it'd be like the regular console commands, and apparently it is. Is it? It should be. I'm not seeing the color command though. Oh, they're not all. So probably I had to put information with it. So, so like a little console that pulls up if you want to do things with the kind of like the console of the device itself. What else can you do? You can pop into the web UI, which opens right up. Hey, what's up, Michael? I know this is kind of your thing. I'm fudging through this and dealing with a big delay because YouTube and OBS changed everything up on me. So a lot of the same stuff. I know there's kind of a lot of different competing, I wouldn't say competing, but a lot of options for different products. Oh, okay. So that jumps straight to the GitHub. Okay. Ah, okay. So that's the same link I just sent, I bet. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and that is one of the things that I know there was, I wouldn't say a debate, but it was kind of going back and forth. It would be kind of cool to see that, like, I know you can do a lot of linking into bringing it to a Docker container. I know a lot of people going out and putting their devices and their passwords. I know it's not going to sit well with a lot of folks, even if it is running in an applet that's actually running on their computer. Then they're still going to they'll still see that shantor.com at the top. So I do get that, and a lot of folks are going to want to see that, like possibly in a HASIO tab or something like that. So if it was brought into, linked, and automatically built into some Docker containers, and then it could bring and do automated stuff into, say, HasIO add-ons or Portainer or various other, Docker containers that can automatically update. I know it would get rid of that issue, but potentially you could get out of sync, because there is, I want to see where that setting was at. There's was it settings? And you could go into and here's one issue you would have is, so you could go, this is of course off of that it's a downlight based off the AI Lite module, which has that My92X1 driver. I thought this was kind of cool because you could just go in here and you could scroll down and go through all the set options, and it would, show you all the ones without having to go look in the wiki, etc. Yeah, and yeah, so he doesn't. I know he doesn't use Tasmota. I think he's strictly ESPHome from what I've seen. So the one problem you would have is if someone was running an older executable of this locally, and like say for instance they deprecated set option, I don't know, like there's some probably different gaps in here. And this has happened before where you don't, like, because of some module was built or some other additional feature, and you had to get rid of a set option, we just didn't need it anymore. Well, now your old version would have the wrong set option description, and now that set option might be for something else. So potentially you could be causing wrong set options to be flagged on your devices. So that's one issue that I wouldn't, definitely you need to stay up on the versions with everything for this, which using it on that Taz UI link at the top, it will keep you in sync with things. So of course, I could see with the container would be a plus to some people, but just need to stay on it. That's updated all the time. So it could definitely be a lot to tackle for. I know Michael does a lot of support and stuff and does a great job on the wiki with Tasmota, and so does Frederico. And I know it could be a big struggle of trying to keep all the Tasmota versions and then now this and everything in sync. It gets to be very tough, per se. I don't know if you want to say it that, but whatever. So definitely check that out. It's pretty cool. I mean, it definitely it's 0.01, and definitely say that's an alpha stage. So play around with it and see what everyone can figure out, and I'll bust a link out there again for people and play with it on a few devices, see what happens. Nothing installed, nothing really set up. Except for definitely read the note at the top when you go to discovery, and right here. So be sure, based on your version of Tasmota, you'll need to run the different set option commands, or this, if you're 7124, you'll run this CORS command that allows it to be discovered on your network. Yeah. I know I'm behind again, but that is cool. It is very cool. So, yeah. Because as you can tell, I couldn't remember a set option. I got 35 and 65 confused. So it can definitely help you out on things like that. So, so speaking, I know we're doing this out of order here. Let's go to, here we are. The straight up Tasmota, I really liked how they did this. Where if you're just starting with Tasmota, I know a lot of people trying to they don't know what it is, and and you can go to the Get Started. And there's a pretty cool tool, and I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. And go to Flashing, and then go to Tasmatizer. And I know it's kind of like that Node MCU Pi flasher or the ESPHome flasher, well, and also the ESP Easy. We've seen that one before. Well, now there's one for Tasmota. Yeah, 5 million downloads. That's a lot. So I wonder how far we're going to, I wonder if we could time how far I'm behind. Let's see. It's 9. Let's see if how far we can see I'm behind on this non-ultra latency. But I hate to stop the stream again and just to get synced up with you guys, but it's going to drive me nuts on the chat. But maybe we'll just give us an excuse to do another one soon, right? We'll just to fix this. I want to say a name, but I'm not doing it. I'll be politically correct. So, and it makes first one with backup. Did I miss a feature in there with the backup? Firmware view, Wi-Fi view. Let's see, where is the current your time is Tasmotas. Did I miss the backup thing? Because that would be pretty cool, like to also go through and back up all your firmware as well. Health view, firmware view. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tasmatizer. Okay. Yeah, see, yeah, it's getting me screwed up again. So yeah, let me pull up Tasmatizer. I just actually, for the first time, I know you're probably gonna hate me for it, and I was pretty cool on it, which is compile your own. Here it is, download latest release, and we'll open it up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Will. We're probably like a good, instead of being like 5 to 10 second delay, we're probably like a damn minute delay, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll just have to kludge through this. All right. So I do have a Wemos D1 Mini on USB. And I thought this was cool right here. Was you could go in and like say pick your bin file and put your own bin file in there, but of course, hey, I'm lazy, right? You can go in here, pick release, which is going to be the straight up release, and you can pick whatever release you want, Tasmota bin, and then you want to do development, and it'll do from the ones that are on Hackbox. And you go in here and say, hey, we're going to do, there's that Wi-Fi man one, or let's just do Tasmota bin. And that's awesome. The backup original firmware, because I can tell you how many times that I have gone and just Google for ESP tool, Tasmota, and that's it. And I go and grab that command to back up the firmware. And then I also want to make sure whether I have a 2 meg chip or a 1 meg chip, and that it looks huge. I probably, because I did like this or something. I don't know, like as big as my face. It's just maybe that's one of those, like the big gummy bears at the store, right? We just get big Wemos. So, so let's go ahead and let's see what happens when we back up. So it's going to download the binary, saving image backup. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure where it's saving it to. Maybe my download folder or something like that. Yeah, this is pretty. I like the backup because I know it's people are like, well, what you need the backup for? Well, if I'm taking a new dimmer or something like that I just don't know if it's gonna be good, I go ahead and put in, and I want to back up the firmware first so I could go through and bring stuff, bring it back to stock firmware, and that way I can run it back through the To Convert process. Oh, dueling live streams, huh? I didn't know if Doc was doing a live stream. And Doc probably would laugh at me starting this stream up because all the new OBS stuff and everything done screwed me all up. And then now it's not even set on ultra latency, and it definitely got me. So maybe we do live on live, and then we'd really have some echoey latency. Let's see. Was not my intent at all. Don't let the streams cross. So look at that. Let's see. I gotta put it on mute. I don't want to get a copyright strike from from Doc. I gotta let me get this out the way. Oh, I thought Tasmatizer was up on my screen, but it's actually up on my other screen on top of the other chat. So, I'm gonna see if we can get this. This is all gonna drive me nuts. Maybe I can have Doc come fix all of my stuff. There we go. Oh, the delays set in now, right? So we can just this vortex of everything. So, and very cool. Yep. And his too. So let me drag Tasmatizer back over here. And I didn't know it was not up there. It was actually fooling me up on my other screen. All right. Wow. Let me see if I still have. Let me close. The never-ending mirror effect. It definitely, indeed. He can come fix all my OBS stuff later, right? He's still over here. I'm not turning audio on. I don't know. We definitely don't want to create a black hole of sorts, wormhole. What do you want to call it? So, it was never my intent to stream at the same time. But hey, so. Hold down the shift windows and tap the left arrow. We love magic smoke. That was pretty fun. So, all right. So now let's try to fire this back up with. Now you're gonna need a left speaker and a right speaker. So maybe we won't go that long anyway. I don't want to run doc stuff too long, but and but so we'll see. Hold down hold down the shift windows and tap left shift windows. Is that going to close? I'm not. Nah, it's not doing anything on that one. So, transform your dual monitor life. Well, let's not screw up the live stream anymore. It's definitely been a mess already. So I need to straighten it out after the fact. So the chat window's not working, and now we got the latency issues, and so all right. So I totally got this back. Yeah. So the cool part is, and I'm sorry I didn't have this up. I know I messed y'all up. So I do have that Wemos D1 Mini again, and it is really actually a small Wemos, not Windows, D1 Mini. Let's see, we need to reset that sucker. So it's pulling up the COM port, and I thought this was cool. You could pick the bin file, and you could pick the release, and you could pick which one you wanted. If you wanted, the I would say stable, but the actual, I guess we would call it the non-development release. I don't know if they've changed the name on that. I know we're talking about some different versions of that. So they have the development version, and which is going to download from the hack box, and you can pick, hey, I want minimal, I want the sensors, the Wi-Fi man one, or of course whatever, same thing, right? So pretty cool, and we'll go through, and the big thing is the backup part is, yeah. So, and I like they got the hover overs, especially recommended. That way because I see this question quite a bit, and with like To Convert, I've never really had any luck going back to the firmware backups because of the exploit. But if you're doing serially, then of course you go ahead and make a backup of it. It's only a megabyte or 2 megabyte or say 4 megabyte, depending on what the device is. And just go ahead and hit Tasmatize. Oh, that was a test branch. That's the playground one I saw. Master branch and maintenance branch. Those are good names. Okay. And so once you hit Tasmatize, it's going to go through and it's going to do the backup and connect to and pull that backup for you automatically, which, and I know I've said this already, just awesome to not have to go Google for that command and then paste it into the command prompt and a whole 9 yards. Now, Mike and Frederico, does the backup automatically test do a flash ID or this flash size to determine if it's like a 1 meg, a 2 meg, or etc.? Because I know like some of the newer Tuya modules are coming out with 2 megabytes. Of course, you have, I want to say like the Shellys are 2 megabytes. And I'm trying to, there's some other devices. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's saving the file. I wonder if it's saving it in the folder that it's running from. Let me go take a look while it's doing the backup. Yeah, it's saving it actually in the folder where Tasmatizer is running at. And I've got it in a big mess of other download files, and I'm not sure if I would be sharing something I'm not supposed to or whatever. Yeah, so that is right. Well, it's in the folder that it's actually starting from. So it's going through, erasing flash. And we're off to writing the image. And I'm gonna try out the send config and see how that works. Not that the backup size depends from the bin file, 1 or 4. Uses the actual flash size and downloads the flash contents. Okay, I'm gonna have to mess with that and look at the flash. I'm gonna try some different flash files. I'm gonna see what the backups, because I saw it downloaded a 1 megabyte file for the backup. Let's see. Yeah, downloaded 1 megabyte, but that's all I had flashed to it was Tasmota. Previously was a 1 megabyte. So, do you know tangent about backups? Do you know what the deal is with user 1 and user 2 space? I know yeah, my stream is an abomination as well. That's the ones I see with To Convert, where if you had to flip to that user 2 space, if it was in user 1, for maybe getting it confused. And I know the recent version, I think they did away with that, where it was automated, I believe. And the delay is gonna drive me nuts. I know I've said that about 10 different times, but we'll fix it. So let's do send config. And we'll do Wi-Fi. And I have some stream information. I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you, sir. Wow. Oh, wow. That's definitely a big thank you. Thank you. It's been been a joy for the past, October, I think is what I did when I did that first dimmer, and had no intent really to continue on, but it was just too much fun. So cool. And they do the passwords. Yeah, I know that they had that user 1 and the user 2, and it's been a long time since I read up on all the flash sizes and I remember reading about it because I was curious how, like in Tasmota and other ones, where you could just put the bin file on there and it would flash it and then flip over to the other partition. And I remember reading about all the partitions on there. Yeah, definitely blame Doc. I remember reading about all the partitions on there, and I just haven't read up, and it's been more than a year since I've read up on the partition sizes and the flash memory on the ESP8266s. So we'll send over my Wi-Fi information, and we'll just call it a day. And let's see what happens. I did not restart the device. We should probably restart the stream, but I hate to do that. Just to get rid of that. Yeah, they did away. They changed the control room up, and I guess I should have that's called procrastination and not liking it how I was like, everything worked and everything. Don't change it. Of course, newer is not always better, and that's why there's that website used to be, that oldversion.com, where you could download a bunch of old versions of things. So I'm trying to see, and then they forced the change on you, so I went back, and then it streamed the wrong thing, and so I have drawn a blank. What is the name of the serial program? I have not. Yeah, failure to adopt. Yes, definitely. Failure to adopt is very true. So I wanted to look for, well, hell, let's just go see if it got an IP address. Yes, it did. 10, 10. And there we go. Termite, that's the name of it. Yep, there you go. Termite. I know I had it. It shows you how much I have not used Termite lately. Just haven't done anything over serial recently. Doing all the to convert things and everything. So, but yeah, Termite. That's the one. I wanted to see if it would get on. If it was everything was on. So. And Termite seems to take so long to start up nowadays, you would think. 22. Yep. That's what I was. If you were wondering, I was trying to pull up Termite to run the IP address command, but I jumped over to the Unify controller and pulled the IP address that way. So. Yeah, I've been on vacation too long and doing other things. So busy doing too many other things and busy too much on the with work actually. Yeah, the latency is would drive me nuts. Is gonna I don't know if y'all want to start another stream and we've only been going this long. I can change change it, but I don't know if y'all will come back. We've been going for 48 minutes, but it's been a mess for 15 minutes to start off. So totally up to you guys. Probably have to wait 10 minutes for a response, but you know, who knows? 5 days before Christmas. Wi-Fi, light bulb, and mechanical switch. Let me close some of these tabs here. Think you're good? Yeah, there's been a lot going on with work lately. Luckily I hadn't had to deal with some of the ransomware stuff with some of the other IT guys and had to deal with. So we could jump over to Dr. Z's live stream for 10. Yeah, there you go. Want to restart? Screw it. We're gonna just gonna drive me nuts too much. Let's do it.